financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to Law and Reality. Today's topic, the untold estate planning issues on death. This is not going to be the normal, this isn't about the durable power of attorney and the need for the trust and the will and avoiding probate. This is the stuff that really happens that is not well prepared for. Jenny Lingl.
Hi, Ken. Good to be here. I'm excited for this show today because I think we're going to point out some issues people they never think about.
You may be excited, but Brian is jumping out of his seat. He is so excited. Brian, how excited are you?
I am so excited. You know why I'm excited? Because I'm excited because Jenny is excited today.
Pat,
I can't wait to hear what Pat has to say.
Well, if you stop talking, we'll give him a chance.
I'm excited if Brian stops talking.
And now that we've
don't stay too
managed
excited.
to slam Brian cleverly after Jenny was excited. Corey Silverstein, how are you? Criminal law expert?
Doing fantastic. Nothing makes my day shine like talking about death.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. All right. Case study.
Is destruction involved in that too?
Pay close attention to the facts of the case.
Brian got in trouble already.
Samuel and Martha. Sam was a sales representative. Decent job, liked his work, making $125,000 a year. Martha, a medical assistant, making $80,000 a year. Sam's diagnosed with cancer in 2016. Goes through multiple surgeries and chemotherapy through 16 through 18. Could not work 6 months in 16. Goes back to work part-time in 2017. His condition gets worse in mid-18. Stops working altogether. Succumbs to the cancer. Dies November 2018. Sad story. Consequences of Sam's illness. He's got medical bills and related expenses that were incurred all during his illness. In-home nursing care because Martha was taking care of him. Prescriptions not covered by insurance. He paid some money for the holistic approach, trying to find a remedy not covered by insurance. His insurance deductible was $5,000 each year. He had life insurance, $250,000. Martha is the beneficiary. Because of all the financial pressures during his illness, the lack of working, all the added bills, he ran up $100,000 on his credit cards. He cashed out his IRA in 2018 for $175,000. Mary's credit cards went up to 30. She had to cut back on her working also to take care of him. The house is now 4 months behind on the mortgage. That's where they're at. Sam's gone. Mary has received the $250,000 of insurance. And now she wants to know what to do with it.
What do we do now?
And here's what happens. She meets with her accountant who prepared the tax return for her and Sam for 2018 and is told that she owes $70,000 in taxes. This is Mary's coming into us. This is her plan. She's going to pay off her credit cards for $50,000. She's going to pay off Sam's credit cards for $100,000. She's going to catch up on the mortgage so the mortgage is up to date. She's going to pay the taxes for $70,000. Total that she's going to pay out is $208,000. She's getting actually $228,000. She's getting insurance for $250,000. She's going to have $22,000 left. She wants to know from Pat, how should she invest the $22,000? She wants to make sure from us that she's doing the right thing. Okay, team, what do you see?
Tell Mary to get a new accountant. Sorry,
Into
this is the first thing
account.
came up to
So
mind.
this I unfortunately see a lot. What accountants and CPAs do is they usually look at what's going to give you the lowest tax as a married couple. Typically, married filing joint versus married filing separate means that you're going to pay less tax. However, in this instance, the IRA was Sam's, not Mary's. So if she files married filing separately, she likely will not owe any tax.
Because she was making $30,000, or as a wage earner, her taxes were being withheld.
Right, and
It's not, for the record, it's not Mary. It's
record?
Martha.
Martha. So, but what I would also discuss is if there's no estate. So in this case, there's nothing that's going to run through the probate court. The reality is Sam's tax liability is going to die with him. Therefore, it doesn't make sense.
Jenny, wait. Sam's tax liability is Sam's, but he had $250,000 of insurance. Doesn't the $250,000 of insurance have to pay for Sam's taxes?
No.
No, Sam
100%
didn't have
no.
It was Sam's
250.
insurance. It was Sam's insurance policy.
Sam had to die.
But wait. You got to make sure that the beneficiary of the life insurance is not his estate, it's his wife.
Was married.
Or it's not
Martha.
the trust, because the trust says pay off bills first, so it has to be the wife, and that can be a big
Right,
problem.
and that's why we look at and we say, what's going on? If there's nothing left that's going through in a trust or that's going to be probated, and there's nothing in the estate, we file married filing
Right.
separately. Now, I also have the case right now where there might be something in the estate. What we've done is filed married filing separately because you can amend within 3 years to file married filing jointly. But once you go jointly, you can never amend to file married filing separate. If you've made that mistake, we still may be able to get you out of the liability with innocent spouse.
All right, so let me see if I'm understanding this and simplify it a little bit. First of all, get in for a second into Mary's mindset. She's what? Well, first of all, get into Martha's mindset. She likes to call herself Mary as her nickname. She's lost Sam. She's gone through the worst 3 years of her life. She is worried about the $100,000 in the credit cards for his. She's worried about the $50 in credit cards for hers. She's petrified of having a tax liability. She has this money, and she's been told and raised on the concept that says you have to pay your
That's
bills
the biggest
and be
thing.
responsible.
That's
And
right.
and
You have to pay your bills.
We're going to take a break, and we come back, and we're going to talk about what Martha needs to do.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so Martha is petrified of this concept of these liabilities. That's her.
Well,
I've
I'd be
seen
afraid
it.
of her own liabilities.
I've had clients come in my office. I remember it very vividly. There was an $80,000 American Express bill that was the husband's. And the wife was in my office the week after he passed away, determined to write that check. And I literally had to get into a fight with her. I said, "You're not writing that check because it's not your responsibility.
That's the thing.
You're not the person on the card."
That's the thing that freaks out every mom when you tell her that you don't have to. Out of everything that you say, they understand everything except you don't owe your husband's debt. That's what freaks them out the most.
And then when American Express calls and says your bill is late, it's your responsibility to pay, they believe the representative. So the point is, we have to convince sometimes our clients that that's the right thing. But if you're watching the show, get the message. Your responsibility on your credit card, Brian, is who?
The signatory, whoever took out the credit card in the first place. So in this case, it was Sam's credit card. Here, let me even give you where the fallacy and where the confusion happens most of the time. Husband takes out credit card and he puts wife on the credit card, so to speak. He gives her a card with her name on it. She's made an authorized user. She's not responsible for the debt. When Sam dies, the obligation to pay the bill goes away
But Brian,
and stays with
don't
Sam's
make anyone
estate.
an authorized user because it can show up on your credit report and use it. So just give your kids or your spouse your credit card. You don't need to make them a user.
And if you have a power of attorney, then you have authority to.
But from a
I
legal,
want to go to that for a second.
but from a legal responsibility, even if Martha's an authorized user, she doesn't have a legal responsibility to pay the underlying debt.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Sam's credit card. Sam had a durable power of attorney, made Martha his representative. He's got all these expenses while he's sick.
Sure.
She's using his charge card to pay for the attendant and the person who needed the care.
No, she's not. He's using his charge card by granting her power of attorney.
Yeah, but
And guess what?
But isn't she responsible for
No.
it?
Right? No, she's not.
She thinks she is.
But if Martha dies, Mary can use it because Mary's next in line.
I thought Martha and Mary were the same person.
Yeah. We just
No, I
if
have
you're
a worse
watching
one,
the
though.
show, Martha and Mary are the same person.
Here's the worst one, though, really. Right before Dad dies, there's this huge credit card debt in Dad's name. So they see the TV show, consolidate your debts and get a home equity loan. So they went and got a home
Even
equity
worse.
loan.
Right, so now the
paid
house
off
is
debt.
gone.
Now the house is gone. So.
Corey, has anyone in your history of criminal law practice, have you ever heard of a crime that says it's a crime if you fail to pay your spouse's credit card bill?
It's not, and it's not, and people just are every day they run out as soon as they get that money paid off, and it's
I
wrong.
think it's a crime.
Oh, you think it's a crime?
If you're a widow,
If you pay
if
it
you've
off.
lost your spouse and you've received insurance money designed to help you live the rest of your life, if you take that money and you use it to pay your deceased spouse's bills who has no money to pay them, that's a crime. Because the crime is you're giving away the insurance money that you received that was paid for to take care of you, and you're giving it away.
Let me add
You
on to
shouldn't.
that one part, though. So that's the next part we're going to be talking about. Dad spent all this money to get this protection type of a vehicle. Life insurance is designed to be protection, protection, protection. She gets the money, she listens to you, she doesn't pay off the credit card debt, and she takes it to her guy, the financial guy, and he puts it in the stock market, and the stock market crashes and she loses all that money. It went from a protection account into a risky account. And that is another travesty that we see all
Yeah,
the
in fact,
time.
I want to move into that into the last
Yeah.
segment, because after we figure out what Martha Mary should do, the question is she going to have $22,000 to invest or more? But let's go back to Jenny. Let's get a handle on the taxes. Right. Start with the beginning. Most married couples file married filing joint. You always have the right to file married filing separate. If you have a husband and a wife that make the same income and they file married filing joint, they'll pay less tax than if they file married filing separate.
Typically.
But here's the important point. In any situation where, let's say husband's self-employed and he's not paying his taxes, and wife is employed earning wages and her taxes are being withheld, in that circumstance, every time before they file the return, they should make an assessment as to whether they should file in that year married filing separate, because if they're falling behind on the husband's taxes, if you file married filing joint, then both spouses become liable for the taxes, whereas if you file separate, you're not.
Just simply put, Ken, I always tell married couples, if you have your return prepared and it shows a liability, and it's not just a small liability that you anticipated writing the check
Not like
and sending,
a $500 liability.
call me. You know, we can work this through on a free consultation of whether there's something different that we should do.
People do not realize that, and it can be a
And it's too late.
very critical mistake. How? What did you want to say?
I
Brian?
just
Now I'm
say
going to go back to your comment.
Well,
Pat,
we're
it's
talking
too
about
late.
Martha making critical mistakes here. I want to point out, just because before we head into this break that we're coming up, Martha has some things that she has to do with this life insurance money. And the number one piece of advice we're going to give her is catch up the house, which
Catch
is
up the
4 months.
mortgage.
So
which
we
is
agree
4
on
months
that.
behind.
Okay, we agree on catching up debts. What about her credit cards?
I want to do debt resolution on her credit cards.
Because she owes $50,000
I can get those settled for 40 cents on the dollar.
Should you
and
do
save
it
her
before
money.
you claim the life
But what
insurance?
happens to her credit score for the rest of her life?
You know,
Okay, her credit score
You never
heals.
asked.
Credit scores go bad for a short period of time, and then once the debt is settled, your credit score improves. The average person is affected 18 to 30 months from a credit score hit.
Why does Martha need a credit score?
Well, how
in
old
the
is
next 6
how old
months?
is Mary?
They're in their
Martha?
60s.
The house is paid for, it's caught up. they
Take a
gotta-
break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the credit score, and then we'll go into what to do with the money.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Samasco Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Samasco Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem. Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, 93.5, 98.3, and 99.9 FM, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m., and then on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Free $50 Visa gift card, Law and Reality golf hat, and a copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. We've got seminars coming up on Wednesday, February 27th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Get out from the credit card trap and enjoy life. We're going to talk about all the ways we use to preserve future income for you and your family, how to eliminate debt using bankruptcy, and also how to eliminate debt outside of bankruptcy using debt resolution. Jenny Lingl is going to do a special segment on how to resolve tax issues. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Wednesday, March 13th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., we have an estate planning seminar, Why You Need an Estate Plan. We're going to talk about the elements of an estate plan, documents you must have while you're living, documents addressing what happens when you pass away, how to address probate issues. Jeff Linden, Brian Small, and myself will be presenting. Attendees get a $300 gold certificate off the cost of an estate plan. You want to sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Now, I want to remind our viewers you can always come in for a free consultation at THAV Gross. Just call 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up on the website. Debt issues with Brian, tax issues with Jenny, estate planning issues with Pat or with Brian, elder law issues with Pat, business law issues with myself, disability with Jeff Kirshner, criminal issues with Corey Silverstein. Just take advantage of the free consultation. They are not a meet and greet. You come in, we tell you what you need to do, we tell you the steps that need to be taken, we tell you how much it'll cost. You get a complete plan of action as to how to address your problem. Sign up at lawandreality.com again or call 888-235-HELP. Also, go online on our website for free reports. We have a brand new report, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions, written by Jenny Lingl and myself, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Samasco, and Business Formation Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in the Detroit area. All you do is click on the link and the report gets downloaded to you. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law offices of Corey Silverstein. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so when we came to the break, Corey, you raised the most common concern that people have. We're talking about Martha's credit cards. Should she pay the $50,000 or could she settle it? Brian, if we settled it, we could probably settle that $50,000 of credit card debt, including attorney fees, for around $20,000.
Like I said, $20,000. And I had said something about catching up her mortgage as being very important. The key here, though, is Martha, whatever her name is, may not want to keep the house. In which case,
assuming there's equity,
she should come back in and see us and determine what the best plan of
attack is. If the house is underwater, different story.
But if she wants to keep the house, the number one priority, since she's fallen 4 months behind and they could start a foreclosure, is to catch it up immediately.
Okay. Now back to you on the credit score. If Martha goes to do debt resolution, in a short-term period, her credit score will drop. But once you've settled the debt, the credit score comes back. The point is, when we evaluate doing debt resolution, the question is Martha in a position where she needs her credit score in the short term? She's not going out to buy a house. She's not starting a new business and going to bank to borrow money. What she's in a mode of doing is she wants to maximize as much of the savings of that $250,000 as she can. Debt resolution becomes a bona fide course of action, because the question is, would it be better to pay $50,000 or $20,000? The question is it worth keeping an extra $30,000 in your pocket that will grow and earn interest and revenue when it's invested, versus paying it to preserve your score? That's the analysis she has to make. All right, now let me put out the numbers based upon our conversation. Let's say Martha says she's going to do debt resolution. Instead of paying $50,000, she pays $20,000. She's paying $0 on Sam's credit cards. She's going to pay the $8,000 to catch up the mortgage, assume there's equity in the house. She's going to pay $0 to pay Sam's taxes. The total she's going to lay out is $28,000. She gets $250,000. She has $222,000. Point. She walked in here thinking she only could keep $22,000 of the $250,000. With the right counsel and advice, she can keep $222,000 of the $250,000. That's how big and important these decisions are. And if I had $1,000 for every time the Marthas made the wrong decision and kept the 22 rather than the 222, I'd be a gazillionaire. Now, Pat, what does she do now with the $222,000? How does she invest it? That's what she wanted to know. What about the 22? Right. But now tell her what to do with the 222.
Well, a lot of times the moms come in and says, "Well, my husband did it, and he was the greatest investor in the world, and he had it in this and all the stocks and bonds. So I'm going to do it the same way that he did it because it worked for him." But reality is he was watching and watching and watching it, and he could stomach the ups and downs. So if mom put it in the same way, and the market tanks, and she gets afraid and pulls it out.
That's the worst.
That's the worst. So you have to look at what her real risk tolerance is. So stocks, bonds, bank accounts, annuities. So the issue is, where should she put it? People's risk tolerance is based on how well the stock market's doing. So when the market's up, she goes, "I want to be in the market. I want to make 20%. And the market takes a dip. She says, "Oh my God, I got to pull it out." So you have to really sit down and look at her liquidity needs. Is this going to be a long-term investment? What does she need the money for?
So it's not a knee-jerk decision.
No,
you really need to sit down and think about it. And it's even more important, it's $222,000 in this case, not 22. It's her whole future savings.
Well, that's true. And guess what? It's all the money she's ever going to have, too. Or again, this is the money protected to keep her for the rest of her lifetime.
No Social Security?
Well, yeah, Social Security, but if she
Social
lost,
she is working,
expenses
but when she gets to that point,
she doesn't have
will
enough
she
time.
have a
This
pension?
is her nest egg.
No,
probably
no
not.
pensions.
She
anymore.
lost half of the income more than half because her husband died. She
give-
lost half of the Social Security because her husband died.
Let me give you the bottom line for a second. In Martha's situation, Sam, her husband's gone. She's got tax issues, credit card issues. Do not make the decision on your own. The bottom line is, don't pay the credit cards and don't pay the tax bill until you've sat down with someone who can give you the proper advice. And you have to be extremely selective to make sure you're getting the right advice. It's not just an accounting issue or a tax issue. It's not a credit card issue. It's a who's responsible for what issue, and you need someone who focuses on that. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.